what I want to do is show everyone how I came to the conclusion that I came to in the last video about QAnon, and how I made the connection between QAnon and ISIS slash Sophia, since they're both the same goddess. But the reason why I'm doing this is because I like to show my work so that no one wonders where I get my thoughts from or where I get my information from. I just want to um, show you the steps that I went through to try to figure out what else might have been behind the whole QAnon thing. And I'm not saying this is definitely a true thing that is behind it all. I'm just saying this is something that I noticed, and it might be significant, and it might not. So the first thing I did when I considered QAnon was I wanted to see if it was a reference to a deity, one of their false deities. And I typed QAnon as one word, and I looked up mythology, and nothing really came up. So what I did was I looked up, I changed the Q to a K, and when I did that, I came across the Japanese deity Kannon with two N's. So I'm following this trail because Q's can be swapped out with K's and even G's, the letter G's. That's why the lowercase g and the lowercase q looks a lot alike, because really in their origin they're not that distant. So this is just the way our English language is. It goes back to Latin, like some people say the letter J wasn't in the Bible, or wasn't in the original Hebrew, and all these other things. Well, because the letter J sprung off of another letter that existed, so like the letter I, or something like that. So following this trail, I went from Qanon to Kannon, and when I looked up, I clicked on the link for Kannon, or what I did was I searched Kannon mythology now, and when I did that, it led me to this goddess called Guanyin. So I guess that's the Chinese way of pronouncing it, and Kannon or Kannon is the Japanese way of pronouncing it. But oops, that's something else. Yeah, okay, now I'm going to show you some other things that I noticed. So let's look at. I noticed that Quanyin was a lot like when I saw Quanyin. Oh well, that's the wrong ISIS right there. That's not the ISIS I wanted to show you. One of the images that came up for Quanyin or Kannon or Guanyin, or however you want to pronounce the name, is the mother with the child. And so I immediately made the link to ISIS there. There's one, I'm missing something here. I must have accidentally closed one of my windows that I wanted to show you. But anyway, so I'll just go with this one in. So the image of the mother and the child, that is also the image of Sophia and her child. I looked up Sophia, goddess and child, and of course we get the image of the Virgin Mary, because she is, in their belief, an avatar of, or an incarnation of Sophia. So it doesn't take much to make these connections between these different goddesses. They all linked to each other in some way. So maybe now you can see how I came from Qanon to Quanyin or Guanyin or Kannon or whatever. And there was one other thing. Now why did it lose my search? I looked up Guanyin pronunciation, and it can be pronounced. I'll just play it.
Guanyin. Guanyin. Guanyin.
And another way someone pronounces it is
Quanyin. Quanyin.
So one word can be spelled one way, and many different pronunciations can come out of it because this is just the way our language works. And as you see, one way the word Quanyin was spelled was spelled with a G, and another one it was spelled with a K. Now both of these can be exchanged with the letter Q. So Quanyin, Guanyin, swap it out with a key Q, and one thing leads to another, and you end up at the Mother Goddess again. So, just trying to show my trail, the trail that I followed, and the thought process I had. So, if anyone felt like I was making a reach or whatever else, some people may still think it's a bit of a reach. I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't know. But I thought that it was. I thought the connection was pretty obvious once I got to this so-called Guanyin. And, that reminds me of another thing that I need to mention really quickly before I end the video. A lot of times there are three major branches, I guess, of major religion in the world. There's the Abrahamic religions, and then there is the Eastern religions, which is mostly extending from Hinduism. Buddhism is an extension of Hinduism. So those three religions two are Abrahamic. You have Christianity and Islam, and the third one is Hinduism. So when looking at these words that the elite or whoever likes to use, I think it is good to keep in mind that sometimes they will not only use an Egyptian name or a name for a Christian deity or a Buddhist deity, or they may use any sorts of names, but they all eventually link back to the one that's in the Bible called the Queen of Heaven. So the Bible says that that's not a title that I made up. It's right there in Jeremiah chapter 7, verse 18. And of course, the worship of the Queen of Heaven or service of the Queen of Heaven, whatever provokes God to anger. So for anyone who says that the Queen of Heaven is not Satan or anything, I think it's pretty clear that it is. Anyway, I hope that was all I needed to say. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and God bless you.